Welcome back to Saturday Raceway for round 2 of the 2015 MSA British Drag Racing Championship, featuring the Pro Mods. We're at the main event for round 1 of the FIA European Championships. And we've got 4 qualifying sessions scheduled to set the 16-car ladder for Monday's eliminations. And it's a welcome return to the track for Sweden's Mats Eriksson after his big crash at this event last year.
So the only thing last year after a crash here, we rebuilt the front of the car with a new tubing and everything. But it looks like shit, the car. But the body is too destroyed to make it nice again. So it must be like that until we get a new body or a new car.
And also problems last round for Chris Isaacs.
Sunday, first round, we blew the tyre straight off. We managed to get a test pass. Took some power out of it, changed some stuff around, still blew the tyres off, and when we got back to the workshop we have to put the car away, passing over a certain amount of gravel and stuff like that, and the tyres usually get pretty furry by the time you get back into the shop, and there was nothing stuck on the tyres at all, so they reached the end of their life. But we've got new tyres on and the tune-up's basically the same, so we'll see what happens this weekend.
So, time to get the cars set for the first of the 4 qualifying sessions. And first out will be a welcome return to the track for Peter Wacker in the ever-popular Roofer's Toy. All the cars lining up, everybody getting strapped in and ready to go. It's always nervous at this time of year, even though the British guys have had a few runs already. For a lot of our European competitors, this will be their first outing, as in even view of a racetrack, of the summer. So, Peter Wacker. Great to see the car back. Very lazy launch indeed. Well, they made a promising start in this first session, but unfortunately never really got the improvements they wanted during qualifying and didn't make the field. And the start line crew doing quite a dodge there for Marco Mario Schat. Marco's one of these guys, been away for a couple of years. This is his first run in that amount of time. Up against Kev Slyfield. Kev's a little bit out of shape. Marco, though, no problems at all in that left-hand lane. 666, 198 miles an hour. And a 741 for Kev. So, the next pair. Andy Wright, no real burnout to speak of there. That doesn't do the clutch too many favours doing that. Up against Wayne Nicholson with repaired Lucky Devil. Wayne goes before the tree's activated. And Andy Wright, though, still makes a pretty strong run for his first ever 738, 195. Next to air, 2 big engine nitrous cars. Jean Delemont from France. Good to see him getting some consistency in that. And also up against Rick Garrett, his first run back since a big engine rebuild after kicking the rod out at Easter. What can he do on this one? The answer is a new personal best of 6:36. And Jean with a 7.0 second pass. So, Chris Isaacs, interesting tyre sticky detection device that the team use. Let's see if they're working this time round. Marcus Hill all the way through with the Punisher from Switzerland, 631, a 7 flat for Chris Isaacs. Next pair, Roger Moore and that man, Mats Eriksson. Hopefully Mats, all the problems squared away from last season. No mistake whatsoever, gorgeous run. Although saying that, Roger Moore not far behind him at all. 610 for Mats Eriksson, 233 and a 648. Nice opener for Roger Moore. Two Andy Robinson built Camaros this time round. One driven by the man himself on the far side of the racetrack. Up against David Vector from the Netherlands with a new converter set up. Side by side all the way down. 652 and 643. So next up, Tero Laukkanen. Far side of the racetrack is Bruno Bada. Tero with the turbo car. Made some fantastic runs towards the end of last season. What can they do here? Tero goes 6:38. Bruno went 6:72. Okay, your last pair, Roger Johansson and Mickey Gallquist. No Matthias Volken for this event here. Problems at the hit of the throttle or the drop of the clutch for Mickey Gallquist. Roger Johansson makes it a bit further down the track, goes 7:01. They're back in the pits preparing for qualifying session number 2, and so far it's looking good for the British drivers. Lots of other action for the fans to watch, but it's soon time to pull down to the track again for the second session. And at the moment Mickey Gallquist's not qualified, so he'll be first out in this qualifying session. And problems again for Mickey, he's still not made the field. Next pair trying their luck is going to be Kev Slyfield, the matte black Thunderbird over there, looking very swoopy and cool, up against Dr. Norbert Kuhnham himself. Norbert sat out the first qualifying session because he reckoned the track was going to get better, and it certainly did for him. Kev out of shape, but Norbert goes through with a 6:09, 231 miles an hour.
We planned that. We were pretty on the right way last season, so we run 6:10s, more than one 6:10s, and everything runs quite well. We had little problems with the fuel. The fuel system was not perfect, but now we fixed that problem, and the result was a 6.0 out of the trailer. So we are very happy about this. So the car is running, in my eyes, perfect. The chassis is perfect working. It's really good set it up right now, and I think we are ready to go in the 5.
Okay, next out going to be Andy Wright and Jean Delemont. Jean with a big inch nitrous car. Andy all over the place, as is Jean. Jean with a fairly cruising 682 though, 187, 699 for Andy. Roger Hansen in the Mustang. David Vegter with the Camaro. Both looking for strong runs. Nice and straight for the pair. 623 and 624. Nicely done. Well, the two twin turbo cars this time. The Duster for Chris Isaacs and Tero Laukkanen, far side of the racetrack. That car has 5 second potential, actually, as do they both. Problems again for Chris Isaacs off the start line. Lots of tyre spin. Tero goes all the way through with a really nice 627, 234. 749 there for Chris Isaacs, though. Going in the right direction. Andy Robinson, Marcus Hill. Marcus Hill, far side with the Punisher. Andy made his first 5-second run at the end of last season. Can he get close? The answer is no, unfortunately. 625 though for Marcus. That's a new personal best. Roger Moore and Max Eriksson again. Let's see what they can do this time around. Max Eriksson bobbing around in the left-hand lane, but goes all the way through the 595.
Qualifying number 2 was really good. I put the gears in the perfect spot, and the car was handled perfectly, and it feels so good to drive the car without to have the heart up here. So I'm pleased. I was very pleased with that one, and 595, that was awesome, personal best.
And for Roger Moore,
good start. Max Eriksson's making me look very slow, unfortunately, running 590 against me, but good for him. So we're having fun. Yeah, we're pleased. We've got a plan, and it's sort of working at the moment. I would say we must be in the field now, and so we can try and step it up tomorrow. See what the track conditions are like, and try and go faster.
On to day 2, and that's Fuel Funny Car driver Leif Olander crewing for Mickey Gallquist. So will the team hit the right setting for the track today? So Mickey rolls into stage. Looking a lot better this time. A decent launch, just off to the left a little bit. And yes, he's into the field with style with a 604 at 239. Also into session 3, Wayne Nicholson still struggling to get into the field, but a great run from Kev Slyfield, a 640, which is a personal best, and his wife looks very happy with that. And after years of trying, Jean Delemont looks like he's finally starting to get it together with the Camaro. A pop at the top end, but a 630, a massive personal best. Andy Robinson into 9th spot with this run here against Marcus Hill at 6:26, but not really as quick as he'd like.
6:37.
So into the final session, and at the moment it's Peter Wacker and Wayne Nicholson not in the field. Another personal best for Rick Garrett in the Willis. Look at that, 6:34. Although unfortunately for Chris Isaacs, still doesn't improve. So next pair, Tero Laukkanen and Marco Mariochat. Tero far side the racetrack. Marco on what looks like a good run, but Tero goes flying past him. 6:15 at 248 miles an hour. So last chance, Andy Robinson up against David Vengter. Still tyre shake for the orange Camaro. They're both absolutely side by side, but no improvement for either of those two. Roger Hansen, Mickey Gallquist, what can we expect from the two Swedes? Great side-by-side run, absolutely door handle to door handle all the way down. Mickey goes 5:88 to a 6 flat for Roger Hansen.
I'm very pleased after yesterday's bad runs, so I'm very pleased today. Yeah, I'm always hoping to go faster because it's needed sometimes. You know, we need to have a few ticks up on the competition, so that's what we're always working to have, and we changed some on the fuel system, some on the engine, and hopefully it's gonna make better power this year. So, and it looks good so far. So we constantly watching the track, we're measuring what's happening with it, we run down and checking all the time, so we try to figure it out and keep in touch with what's going on down there. So that's very important for us, so we can put on the power as the track can take.
But what about Andy Robinson?
Well, we've been struggling a little bit this weekend. We seem to be down on power right now. We think is a problem with the bottom end of the engine, either to do with the piston ring seal or perhaps the roundness of the cylinder bores. So we're actually going to swap out our cylinder block, put a whole brand new bottom end in and rebuild it and see how we do tomorrow.
It's about 7 p.m. now. How long is that going to take you?
I estimate about 1.5 hours.
It's not bad going, is it?
Yeah, we've done it a lot of times. You know, we're well practiced. We've got all the right tools. So yeah, we'll just get the old one out, put the new one back in, and rebuild it, and see how we do tomorrow.
So it's into eliminations we go with that man, Andy Robinson. Up against Marcus Hilt from Switzerland. Marcus Hilt has had the advantage in qualifying, slightly quicker than Andy, but this is race day. Things change dramatically when they race for win lights. Andy's away first and absolutely way out in front of Marcus. No great improvement in lapse time at all, 6:39. But it's the win light that matters. Next pair, David Vengter against Jean Doulemont after that great personal best for the man from France with the bad Apple Camaro. Probably looking forward to this matchup, actually. He's been half a tenth of Dave's time in qualifying. Both away very evenly. Great race as well, but David Vengter's got this one sewn up with a 6:15 at 230 miles an hour. Good try for John, though, at 6:54. Another guy that would normally have a clockwork weekend would be Bruno Barda. Not so far this weekend. Up against Marco Mariochat. Well, Marco's way out there in front, but the car mysteriously dies. Bruno goes screaming past to a 6:08. Back on form once again. 229 miles an hour. Turbo against nitrous this time round. Rick Garrett running PB after PB over there with the Willis. Him and the boys are very, very happy with the car this weekend. Up against the man that just about gets the long distance award, Tero Laukkanen, all the way from Finland with the turbo car. Tero leaves Rick Garrett for dead on the start line. That's probably going to spell the end of his weekend. Indeed it does. 6:05, but a booming 250 miles an hour in a door car, no less. Good run for Rick Garrett, though, with a 6:37. Next up, Kev Slyfield against Norbert Kuno. Norbert with that great 6.0 during qualifying, but he had trouble repeating it, and lots of shake and spin and problems for both of them. Who is going to get the win light? It's Kev Slyfield by about that much, 7.08 to 7.11. Well, sometimes the shaking and spinning runs are just as exciting as the quick ones. So, Roger Moore against Roger Johansson, the two nitrous cars, both of these with fuel injection on board. Oh, Roger Johansson with tyre shake and spin off the line. It's going to be Roger Moore with a nice consistent 6.45. Takes him through to round 2. Well, Andy Wright with burnout problems once again with a beautiful coupe. It didn't hurt him too much in qualifying, but he's got a real tough customer. Mats Eriksson was our number 2 qualifier, down in the 5s again. That's his son LG, giving him a fist bump going into stage. Oh, and he doesn't need it. Look at that. Mats Eriksson straight as a string down the left-hand lane. 5.99, 237 miles an hour. And last but not least, your number 1 qualifier against number 16, Mickey Gallquist against Chris Isaacs. You can bet that the team with the duster are going to try and stand on it this time round. Chris had trouble staging the car. There was obviously a problem. Mickey G goes through with no problem at all at a 5.90. And Chris trickles through with a 7.74. So in the pits, and Kev Slyfield's crew are working feverishly, but it looks far more relaxed with Roger Moore.
No, it's brilliant. It's a shame that it's another nitrous car that's been knocked out, but he overpowered the track and we got down.
Same again next round?
Yeah, we will try some things, and strangely enough, it's Roger Johansson's crew chief who's just come around and given me some advice. So that's drag racing.
It's been a brilliant weekend. Boys have done a fantastic job. 2 PBs, so we can't moan at that, you know. And hopefully there's a lot more in the car yet. So
yeah, it was a bit loose, I'm afraid. Shook tyres a little, but I was obviously trying to go rounds. Yeah, we just got an issue with our previous engine. It was a bit down on power, so that's why last night we changed engines. And now obviously we've got to get the tune right, and it's quite tricky at 9:30 in the morning to do that. Yeah, we got Mickey next round. So that's going to be interesting because he obviously ran 5.90. So yeah.
So into round 2, and Andy will be the first out with a very hard race against Mickey Gallquist. And these are the kind of races that everybody waits all winter for. Come the first race at Santa Pod, and Andy is up against multi-time European champion and round about the quickest car in Europe as well, Mickey Gallquist. So, both of these cars are Camaros, but will it be the English one or the Swedish one that goes through? Andy Robinson goes red and shakes the tyres as well, unfortunately, to add insult to injury. Mickey G goes 5.89. He would have been very tough to beat. So the 2 matte black cars, the only colour for a race car, as everybody will tell you. Kev Slyfield with the Thunderbird, having a great weekend. That 6:40, personal best. Really, really good indeed. Up against Tero Laukkanen with the turbo car. Kev goes way too early, which is a real shame because that looked like a pretty good run. Tero runs him down with a 6.09 at 2.30. So this pair is Mats Eriksson up against David Vegter. Mats in the 5.9s in qualifying and so far today. Dave with a really nice looking 6.1 second run. They're going in the right direction with the new converter setup on the Camaro. On the 2-step and away, almost identically, Mats Eriksson looks like he's just got the nose out in front. A great side-by-side race, and Matt takes the win with a 6.0 to a 6.15. The last 2 running for a space in the semis. Bruno Barda, the supercharged Corvette from Switzerland, up against Roger Moore, previous MSA champ in the Viper. Well, it's dead even at 3.30, but Bruno just starts to pull out in front and gets there by a couple of car lengths, though, 6.12 to 6.42. Roger Moore and the team going in the right direction. So, back in the pits, and although Kev Slyfield lost in the quarterfinals, he still goes home a happy man.
Yeah, it's nice being not being first round fodder anymore. Always in the past we've struggled, but yeah, the car's coming together now, and we're really happy with the way it's progressing.
But it's all good for Mats Eriksson.
Yeah, it's all right. Some small problems. I get sideways a little, but it was all right. I held the pedal in the floor, so it was all right. It was a good race.
And also for Tero Laukkanen.
All good for the semi-final?
Yeah.
Going to win?
Yeah, of course.
That's finished confidence for you, but when you spend 4 days getting here, you're bound to be trying to make it worthwhile, the trip. So, it's Tero Laukkanen against Mickey Gulquist, but first we've got Mats Eriksson against Bruno Barda. Now, based on performance this weekend, Mats Eriksson's got the advantage, but don't ever count out Bruno. He ran down in the 5.9s for the first time ever at the European finals last year. Let's see what they got for us in this semi. Bruno spins the tyres. It's going to be Mats Eriksson streaking away to another 5-second pass at 5.98. Bruno off pace that time, unfortunately for him, with a 6.60. Well, Mickey Gulquist and Tero Laukkanen. Supercharged car, the quickest supercharged car in Europe actually, against the quickest turbo car in Europe. Also, Tero's been over 250 miles an hour so far this weekend. Bumping into stage, and Tero takes a massive hole shot on Mickey G. Can the supercharged car run him down? The answer is absolutely not. Tero Laukkanen with a 6.04, 2.36 takes out Mickey G's 6.08. So, with the cars being worked on between the semis and the final, it's blower against turbo for the final round here this weekend. Not a British car in sight, sadly, but there will be other days. Mats Eriksson goes on the green. Tero Laukkanen, unfortunately for him, doesn't move. Mats Eriksson will be your champion at the main event with a 5.99 at 230 miles an hour.
It's the perfect start of the season. It's the revenge against last year here main event when we crashed a car. So this is a real perfect start. The car is beautiful now. It takes everything. And we have good numbers all the time also. And we can go faster if we adjust a little more. So we are so satisfied. So this is a dream.
Well, a great win for Mats Eriksson puts him number 2 in the MSA Championship. But number 1 position is still held by a round 1 winner, Kev Slyfield. Round 3 is at Santa Paws SPRC Summer Nationals, so we'll see you all there.